Hey everyone, James here. Today we have part 2 of the capital ships, the seaplane tenders and the carriers. Drac may have already said as much. I'm in a studio this time around, given our pilot, the battleships, was well received, and hopefully this will allow me to say things a little bit more casually, as opposed to previously where I had to speak as clearly as possible due to compression and background noise, etc. In the last video, I couldn't really convey to you things like fu, or ra, ri, ru, re, and ro, mainly due to compression and background noise. So, in regards to those sounds, they're a hybrid of sorts between, in the instance of hu, it's as though you were going to make the hu sound with your mouth, but you instead say fu. So there's no friction between your lips and your teeth, like when you say fu. It's instead fu, so fuso. And similarly, ra and all the others are said as though you were going to make an L sound with your tongue instead of ra with like the majority of your mouth. So again, they're a hybrid of sorts. So you would say ra, ri, ru, re, and ro. Don't roll your R's though. So don't say ra, because that's very rude. On the topic of last video, I'd like to correct 2 errors. The first is suo. It was pronounced wrong. It was my bad, really. The wo sound doesn't really appear in many words as far as I can tell, and its primary use is a particle nowadays, where it makes the o sound. So, yeah, my bad. It just doesn't really, it's not something I'm overly familiar with due to its rarity. At least I think it's rare. The other error is in the form of sagami being pronounced completely wrong, or not so much pronounced wrong as said wrong because a typo crept into our list. You'll also note, if you're familiar with hiragana, that I spelt it wrong because the list was in English lettering and I made the hiragana. So we have suo and sagami. If you do have any questions for me, just write "Hey James" at some point in the comment. I do read them all. I read up to the 350 mark last video. So I'll try and help where I can. With all that out of the way, let's move on to today's topic, the carriers and the seaplane tenders. Just before we get into the list, I've prepared some vocabulary because last video I just threw in things like gata and senkan and junyo senkan. Of my own accord, I just threw them in. So here's the vocabulary list. Gata for class, senkan, battleship, junyo senkan, battle cruiser, suijoki bokan, seaplane tender, koku bokan, aircraft carrier, kubo, carrier, goe kubo, escort carrier, kei kubo, light carrier, seiki kubo, standard carrier, soko kubo, armored carrier, tokushusen, special ship. This refers to the landing craft depot ships. Seaplane tenders: wakamiya, kamoi, notoro, Kamikawa Maru gata Suijoki Bokan, Kamikawa Maru, Kimikawa Maru, Kiyokawa Maru, Kunikawa Maru, Mizuho, Nishin, Akitsushima. The escort carriers now. Taiyo gata Goe Kubo, Taiyo, Unyo, Chuyo, Kaiyo, Shinyo. Shimane Maru gata Goe Kubo, Shimane Maru, Otakusan Maru. The army escort carriers now. Goshu Maru, Heigata Tokushusen, Akitsu Maru, Nigetsu Maru. Yamashio Maru gata Goe Kubo, Yamashio Maru, Chigusa Maru, Kumano Maru. We're up to the light carriers now. You'll note with a lot of them they contain the words ho and Shou and Ryu, and these words all have stressed vowels to them. So just bear that in mind when you go to say them. So, Hoshou, Chitose gata Kei Kubo, Chitose, Chiyoda. Zuiho gata Kei Kubo, Zuiho, Shouho, Ryuho, Ibuki. Lastly, we have the fleet carriers, which Drac describes as anything carrying 40 planes or more. Drac, correct me if I'm wrong. So we have Akagi, Kaga, Ryujo, Soryu, Hiryu, Shoukaku gata Seiki Kubo, Shoukaku, Zuikaku, Taiho, Hyo gata Seiki Kubo, Hyo, Junyo, Unryu gata Seiki Kubo, Unryu, Amagi, Katsuragi, Kasagi, Aso, Shinano.
That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you have a comment or suggestion for a ship to review, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to comment on the pinned post for dry dock questions.